I know the title of this video is a little bit clickbaity, but it's actually tied to a story and it'll make a lot of sense throughout this video. Sorry if you guys can hear all the people doing the lawn outside. There's like 10 people outside mowing the lawn because I live on like this rural kind of area that's like a huge kind of like forest, and so there's so much ground to cover, but there's like 10 of them outside. So if they get kind of close, I hope you can't hear them, but just wanted to preface that. Let's go ahead and jump on into this video. Now, I have made many a video about my tatas before and about basically the augmentation that I got and all of the different information, which I will get into the nitty-gritty of that information that everyone pretty much likes to ask if you're interested in getting a breast augmentation. I'm going to tell the story first, so if you're interested in just the details, you can always skip through to that, but this is actually the most important part of my breast augmentation and the answer basically to why my boobs look so real and are perceived as real and why everybody loves them as much as they do, and even I do. But this is the reason behind that, and it's actually it's all in your head. So basically, I got my boobs done when I was 21 years old. If you guys have not seen my other videos on YouTube, I had the augmentation when I was 21, and then I had something called bottoming out, where one of the implants basically fell out of the socket that it was sewed into, and so then I had uneven breasts and I had to have a second surgery within like 8 or 9 months of the first surgery. And because I got my boobs done when I was 21 years old, I signed the waiver saying that I was basically responsible if anything weird happened, because you can't get it like covered unless you get them after 22 years old. So in case you're interested in that information, don't get your boobs done until you're 22, and if you're gonna do it beforehand, just be aware that you can be that one person that has a weird experience. But all in all, like, just pick a good doctor, because my doctor really took care of me, and I'll talk about all that at the end of the video. It's honestly been so long since I've even talked about this that like I'm like, I have to go back through my other videos to remember all the details about everything. But there's literally a kid like right out the window. He's just gonna watch me make this video. It's fine. So going back to when I first got my boobs done, I actually had a really hard time with them. The surgery was really fucking hard for me, and I just remember like that first week I was just not prepared. I had never been through surgery before, and everyone kind of makes out a breast augmentation to be super easy, but actually anyone that you've talked to, I had it under the muscle. So that's the more painful option, and anyone that you talk to that's actually gotten their boobs done in that way talks about how fucking hard it was and how they didn't really talk about how hard it was. It's such a experience that like you chose it and you went through it, so there's no reason to talk about the down heaviness of it, of the surgery in general, but the surgery was fucking hard for me. So that's just one, and I really struggled with my breasts for the first like several months. And not that I didn't love them, I loved them, but I was just not prepared. You know, like you really don't know what you're going into, and it's a shift in your body. When I say that my boobs are real and they're my boobs, I say that because, well, first off, half of my boobs are still my boobs. When you do go into a breast augmentation, you're adding to what is already yours. They're not 100% fake, you know, like they are your boobs. But when it comes to any kind of surgery that you're getting, like surgery is something that changes you forever. And I feel like this isn't as talked about. Anytime that you get any surgery, whether it's getting like something put into your knee or having something changed within your body because of a medical reason that like you have to stay alive, or getting a breast augmentation or getting fat moved around in your body, like no matter what it is, that surgery is going to deeply change you. It is a shift in your body, it is a shift in your timeline, it is a shift for your essence. Like you are never going to be the same. So when you move into any surgery in general, that's why you really want to think about it. That's why they recommend that you sit on it and you make sure that that is something that you want to do. I know that most of us get breast augmentations when we're pretty young, because that's when we want like to shift our bodies in that way. We don't really think about those types of things. Like it took me many years to really like it, as I was progressing into my breast augmentation experience, or like since I had changed my body, I went through all these different levels of experience within it, and I wouldn't take it back for a second. Like, I absolutely love my boobs, and that's because I'm merged with them. And that's kind of the point that I'm getting into with this video, is that I'm merged with my boobs. And that's how they really became my boobs, and how I experience them in such like a highlight and a happy light. I love the decision that I made, and I have absolutely no regrets when it comes to that. Once I got my boobs done, I healed for the next like 4 or 5 months. I was traveling a bunch, experienced the bottoming out, went into my second surgery, and after my second surgery was so fucking easy, by the way, just so everyone knows. My first one was so fucking hard, and the second one was like, it was like it didn't even happen. It was so easy. So surgery is just like, once you're prepared for it and you know what the experience is, it really changes everything. But either way, it's still gonna be really hard on your body, and like all the drugs that they put you on, and even going under an anesthesia, that all that stuff is just, it's fucking heavy on your body. But you do get through it, and it's just a really tense week, and you just need to put so much energy and love into your body after that. For the first like 2 to 3 years after I got my boobs done, I really wasn't merged with them. I hadn't really like felt like they were mine. I felt like I had gotten a breast augmentation, and I was listening to my doctor's directions like to a T. I was such an A-type personality that it was really hard for me to imagine like just being in my own body in that way. And after the second surgery, I was also so afraid that something like that could happen again. So I was being almost overly critically careful. Like, anytime that I did anything, I wouldn't even ride a bike without wearing like a strapped in bra that was holding my boobs so tightly I couldn't breathe, because I was so scared of accidentally fucking my body up again, or hurting it in some way, or being a little bit too wild and out there into a situation, or putting myself somewhere where that could happen again. It took me a couple, probably like 2 or 3 years before I was in a position where there was this other girl that I looked up to that I thought was really hot, and she had also gotten a breast augmentation. She never really talked about it, but it was more so I got to be around her often, and she would never ever wear a bra. And I was so confused, because I was like, how come she never has to wear a bra? Like, did her doctor recommend that she didn't have to wear a bra in order to like keep her boobs up? And like, this is a thing that my doctor had originally said to me. Like, when I got my breast augmentation, my doctor said that you need to wear a bra all the time, because you're basically stretching the skin and putting extra weight in them that they don't naturally have. And so if you're not wearing a bra all the time, over time, like thinking long term, basically, you're going to be experiencing more of a sag in your boobs, and that is going to, if you ever decide to like get them taken out or anything like that, then that's going to really shift the way that your skin is when you're older. And so that's why my doctor had recommended a bra, and I'm pretty sure most doctors do, but I can't tell you for sure. But it was very reasonable, like, to wear a bra all the time, and to just make sure I was like thinking long term, living long term, which is actually a really great thing to do. I'm not dissing that at all. As much as I was enjoying wearing a bra, I was also really struggling with the fact that like I just felt like so not in my body, you know? I didn't feel like this like change that I had made was a part of me. Like, I didn't feel good, and the way that I was seeing this girl run around with her fake titties bouncing all around, like, they looked so fun and natural, and she was just really enjoying herself. And I was like, why am I not like that? Like, why am I not enjoying my boobs? Like, why don't I feel like I can like do jumping jacks and be totally fine? Like, why is it so painful? And it actually was super painful. That's another thing. I remember after watching her, I was like, like maybe I should just try and go a day a week without wearing a bra. So I remember the first time that I slept without a bra on, after, this was like 2-3 years after my surgery, but because I had always been wearing bras, I hadn't really let them like sink into my skin. Like, I hadn't become one with my boobs. And so the first time that I slept without a bra, I just remember so much pain. Like, I was so incredibly sore. It's just like when you stretch, like, let's say you stretch for like 2 or 3 hours, the next day you're gonna be like barely walking because you stretched so much. It was the exact same thing. Basically, like, all the area around here, and like even because I sleep on my side, so like all the like side area had been stretched out in a way that I had never experienced it stretched out since I got my boobs done, because I'd always been wearing a bra and holding it so tight against my chest, and I never really like let them breathe. I never stretched. I never like jumped into my body. I was just like this living, like, walking tight thing. There's not even like, I wasn't even human. I was just like Once a week from that point forward, I started sleeping without a bra on, and I would just spend the day without a bra. I wouldn't do anything super crazy, but eventually I like would slowly turn it up, and I would do 2 days a week, and then eventually I did 3 days a week, and then I'd hit a point where I was like, okay, I'm not gonna wear a bra for the next month or whatever. And so I didn't anymore, and that's when my boobs really started to feel like my boobs. They were still sore and they weren't like super bouncy and bubbly. Like my boobs are really like bubbly now. They're super elastic and fun, and when I'm like ovulating, my skin is like so like elastic, and my boobs are too, and it's insane the way that I have changed just from like stretching my body and getting into my body and just like really becoming one with my boobs. But there was this one day where I actually did a meditation, and this, in my opinion, was like the big pivotal moment, because even though I was like slowly walking my way into being comfortable with my boobs and being able to not wear a bra and feel like it was actually like my boobs, and like I was like happy to have them like they were real, I did this meditation. And I was like, if these boobs are gonna be my boobs, like I need to talk to my body and welcome them, because that's why you experience rejection within your body. Like let's say you let's say that you have an allergy, or you get like a knee implant of some kind of a metal. Like your body's rejecting that because it thinks that there's something wrong with it. It's like, this is not supposed to be in my body. Like, where did this come from? This is a foreign object. And that's kind of how your body reacts to stuff like that. Like it's really confused and it's just trying to protect you. I didn't want my body to be rejecting this experience that I was having and this part of me that I had chosen to take in as a part of me. And my body didn't understand that because I hadn't had the conversation yet with my body that this was my decision. It was something that I wanted, and it was a part of me. So I basically went into this meditation. I was like lucid on medicine, like mushrooms or something, and I was basically like, I laid down with my body and I said, hey. And I think it was at least an hour, if not more, where I was just sitting with my body saying, this is a part of me. These are my boobs. Like, it was kind of like an affirmation type of vibe, but even more so, it was just like notifying my body of like what is going on, and that this is me and this is my new body, which I actually think that anyone after any surgery or any crazy enhancement of their body should do. I think you should sit down. This is an opinion, obviously, but I really strongly feel that you should sit down with your body and have a conversation with your body and let your body know that this is okay and that you want this and you're welcoming this into your body. Because without that conversation and without the communication between your neural pathways and between your system, it's just going to be rejected. It's pretty plain and simple. Like, your body is just going to fight it. That is what I really did to just like take my boobs in as my boobs, and that is the beginning of my journey into how they have become so elastic and how they are so real, because I literally feel like they're my boobs. I have become one with them. Another way that I really started to become one with this shift in my body, this change that had been created, was by doing more stretching exercises also in general. Like I do lymph node clearing all the time now, and I think that that makes a huge difference in my body, in my structure, especially my lymph nodes here. Just clearing them out on a regular basis, and also just doing regular breast exams and massaging and like really just giving your body love. That makes a huge difference in your body, anywhere in your body. This doesn't even have anything to do with like the breast augmentation part, but like that is a way to really get into your body and just like show your body love and clear any energy out of your body that isn't needing to be there. Just respecting the body that you have and communicating with your body. And I feel like that's the most important thing, really. And the message, if you were to take one message from this video, I would want you to take that message, that this is your body, it's your vessel in this life, is how you're able to express and channel and come through. Your essence comes through and experiences this life through this body. And having communication with your body and respect for your body is one of the most powerful things that you can really do within this vessel and for your lifetime. Because one thing that never ever ever leaves you is this body in this life. Everything else pretty much shifts and changes, and your body will even shift and change too, but this body is your body, and just sharing all the love you possibly can with it, respecting your body, is just a message that I feel like isn't even just mine. I feel like it's literally from the divine, to just love your body, respect your body, eat healthy, stretch, talk to your body, communicate with your body. And if you do go through changes, like how I got a breast augmentation, like communicating with your body, this is a choice that you, the owner of this vessel, is making, and that you will merge with this new experience and you will move forward basically in this new body, which is an updated version of your body. I think a really fun and cool way to experience it is kind of like a video game. Like you're halfway into a video game and you have this avatar, but you finally get to upgrade this avatar, right? And you're so excited, so you select the upgrade of the avatar and you get to shift that part of your avatar. But moving forward, that avatar is different. You need to walk into that new avatar's body and remember that that's the choice that you made, and that's your new vessel moving forward. And it still has the same essence of you playing the game, but you have that new vessel, or that shift slash change of that vessel, and that's the part of you now also. So that is kind of the story that I really wanted to pinpoint at, but I will go through and answer a few subtle, quick questions, which aren't really questions, which is like the details that everyone always asks me about my boobs. And if you are interested in getting a boob job or breast augmentation, of course, the #1 piece of advice that anyone is ever going to tell you is go to see a doctor. Get a consultation, if not many. It is highly, highly, highly recommended that you get several different consultations so that you can pick a doctor that you really energetically feel super aligned with. This person is going to be cutting your body open, putting things into your body, and you need to energetically feel open to that exchange so that you feel safe in that experience. Because even though you'll be under drugs, your body holds the score, my friends. It's a great book, but your body will remember, and you need to make sure that you feel safe in your body going into that experience before you do it. That way your body won't have rejection. So #1 is to go talk to a real doctor, and then I'll give you the little details about my boobs. So I did under the muscle, which I mentioned earlier, and under the muscle is a little bit more painful. You can do over the muscle, it's totally your decision, but under the muscle usually ends up creating a more natural effect. And when I went into my breast augmentation, I did everything as naturally as I could. Like, I made all the decisions that would make them the most real possible boobs. So I did under the muscle, obviously. I did silicone implants. I went to a doctor specifically, so the way that I found my doctor was actually through another doctor. My dad had a friend who was a very well recommended doctor, and so he had reached out to that doctor and got a recommendation from that doctor for a breast augmentation doctor that was highly reviewed. And the doctor that I went to actually didn't do first breast augmentations, which was interesting, but he would fix augmentations that had been botched in the past, which is kind of funny. But that was what he was known for, was fixing augmentations that didn't go well, and for creating very, very natural results from that experience. And so that's why I went to him specifically, was to make sure that I had a very natural look going out of it. We went to go in. He was like, you don't want to go too big because it won't look super natural and your body won't be able to handle it. And so we ended up, I wanted to recreate the boob vibe of like a C cup, because when I was in middle school, high school, I actually had a C cup naturally, and I had amazing boobs. I worked out all the time, but then I went through something super traumatic, and I lost a shit ton of weight, and I lost everything. I had no boobs anymore, and even though I kept dancing, I just didn't have any boobs, and I wanted to refill that. I wanted to add more volume back in, and so that's why I ended up actually getting my boob job, was because I had it. I'd had my natural boobs before, and I wanted to recreate them basically. So I wanted to get back to what I had naturally had back when I was had my extra body fat and was younger. And So I wanted to get back to a C cup, and so he told me since I already had a B cup when I went in, I only needed to go up 1 cup size. But he ended up adding a little bit extra in to make everything perfectly even, and we did like I feel like it was like 315 cc's. And so now I actually have a double D cup technically, but every bra thing is different, and certain bra brands I'm in a C cup and certain I'm in a double D, but either way it was like doubling my boob size basically is what we did. And so half of my boobs are silicone and half of my boobs are real. Yeah, I feel like that's all the basic details that everyone asks. The first surgery was super hard, as I mentioned in the beginning. It was just, I was so unprepared. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, and I think you should just prepare to make sure you have someone to take care of you, because if my mom wasn't there to take care of me, I literally wouldn't have been able to sit myself up. It was so hard because I had never had surgery before, and I still, like, my body remembers how achy it was after the surgery. It was so intense on my body, and I just highly recommend making sure you have someone that really cares about you, that will take care of you, and just taking at least 2 weeks off of work or whatever, unless you work from home on a computer, then 1 week. But just really taking the time to heal. All in all, just treating it like a conversation between you and your body. Really just melt into your heart and be like, I want to do this change, and like make sure your body's aware as you're moving through the experience, because I think that is the best way that you can move through a shift physically that will be different for the rest of your life, or it will transition your body for the rest of your life. So many people still have so much bias around breast augmentations, but I mean, when it comes down to it, boobs are boobs and they're pretty amazing, and everyone just wants to touch them and love up on them. And so it doesn't really matter what people think about or say about a breast augmentation. It is your decision. It is your conversation to have with yourself. Yeah, I'm not recommending for or against it. It's really just a decision that has to come within your heart. And I hope that this video was interesting or fun. Remember, of course, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them down below. And I love you guys. Thank you for joining me here for episode 3. Have a beautiful day.